Alrighty, okay. Welcome everybody to today's webinar, High Impact Marketing with our partner SpeedPro. I'm really excited to do this webinar with everybody here. It's a great panel that we have lined up for you to learn about branding applications and opportunities and best marketing tips and how to land and win your first impression. We welcome you. Just as a friendly reminder, this is being live streamed as well as being recorded. I'm Monica Garza, Special Projects Coordinator here at the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. If you have any questions, we will be available on the chat, and feel free to put your questions in the Q&A. With that being said, I want to go ahead and pass it over to one of our great partners here at SpeedPro, Ms. Danielle Youthas, who's the Vice President of Marketing, and she'll go ahead and kick off this presentation as well as introduce our rest of our speakers.
Thanks, Monica. We are very excited to be here and to get into some information about branding today. So with me, we have Luis Rivero, Ruben Islas, and Ralph Trujillo, and I will let them introduce themselves and get into their experience, what their businesses do, who their clients are, and the types of projects that we work on. I will go ahead and just give you a very quick overview of SpeedPro and the type of things that we do, and also some tips about branding in general from a marketing perspective. And then we'll get into more about each of our guests and their businesses. SpeedPro produces large format graphics. So, or as we like to say, great big graphics, anything that is large and printed, which can be wall murals, signage, vehicle wraps, anything in that realm. This is just a few of the brand partners that we work with. So you can see some household names here, and a lot of local brands that each of the owners on the phone can also get into some of the projects more detail about. We also do custom signs and branding. And with that, we also, with branding and custom signs, 76% of consumers say that they would visit a store that they've never been to before based on the signs. Then there's a lot of different statistics woven in throughout, so I won't go ahead and read every single one of these, but definitely a high impact medium, probably more so than you even think. Signs, of course, are there for logistics, but you know, in identifying the quality and the character of the business and all of those things are very much linked into the value, and that is conveyed through the signage itself. We do retail and display graphics, and 3/4 of consumers entered a store based on the signage, and 2/3 of those made a purchase as a result. So they can be, consumers can be drawn in just based on retail displays alone. The frequency of updating signage also makes an impact, and sales percentages increase the more that you change out this branding and change the design, draw attention to that sign, make those impressions, has a direct impact on the sales. Outdoor advertising is also gaining a lot of popularity. Right now, you know, everyone's on their cell phones, everyone's looking down, but if you have something that's large and outside, those impressions cannot be missed when people are walking by. And 58% search the web as a direct result of seeing an ad outside. They're walking by, it makes an impression on them, then this person now knows the brand name and can go ahead and Google it from there. And again, it does directly have an impact on influence to purchase. Commercial vehicle wraps is one of our other specialties, and car wraps can be very, very memorable, and they see so many impressions every single day. You can get one wrapped vehicle, you can get 30,000 to 80,000 impressions per day out of. So that then makes it the least expensive cost per 1,000 impression media in marketing. So just having something really eye-catching on the side of the road here is that moving billboard that is gaining a lot more attraction than you may even realize. And with that, 96% of people could notice an ad that's on the side of the truck, whereas 82% of people ignore online ads. And those are even ads that are seen. And now with ad blockers and everything like that on digital media, it's even more critical to get that impression and get those messages out in front of people in real life so that they're not just scrolling through their phones, ignoring the ads that they see. We also do window, wall, floor, and ceiling graphics, building out these environmental graphics and creating experiences within spaces. And a lot of times it can be a 2x impact on the experience that a customer has in an experience in a retail space. And those people are 10 times more likely to also then share their experience on social media and help to get those impressions to your business, post those reviews, and get the word out. And we're getting here into trade show season. So everyone who's planning event graphics and trade show booths for 22, that's also something that we can work on, very customized specialty graphics for all kinds of different applications in that space, as well as the safety and wellness graphics. That's going to continue to be a theme throughout 2022. And you can always have something that is safety and then add an aesthetic to it, add your branding into it, and show that your brand is also committed to safety in the workplace and in public spaces. We do back to school graphics as well. We work with a lot of different local schools, including universities, on keeping them safe as they go back to school, and also adding branding that's related to the school mascot and pride within school branding. Construction is another niche for us that's been really hot right now. So as you see a lot of these mesh banners going up and signs and different things in that vertical, that's also a space that we work in. We have a line of environmentally friendly products as well. So if that's something that you're looking for, recyclable material, PVC free, that kind of thing, that is available as well. And lastly, another focus of ours at the moment as we get into the holidays is holiday signage and graphics. So we're doing a lot of window graphics, getting signs out in time for the holiday rush and Black Friday and everything like that. Our net promoter score is a 96, and that just speaks to what our customers are saying about us. So if you'd like to go on and look up some reviews about SpeedPro, you'll see that overwhelmingly our clients are very satisfied in working with us, and you'll be able to check out some of our reviews there. We do have a link if you'd like to contact us that we can put in the chat here, and I'll go ahead and put that in a chat in just a couple minutes here. And you can reach out to us and connect with us through this link if you'd like to. This is specifically a form fill page for our partners at the USHCC. And with all of that being said, I will go ahead and turn it over to our guest today, who can get into a lot more detail around what we do and what their businesses are like and some of the great work that they do. So I will turn it over to you.
Who would you like to go first, Danielle?
I'll go first if that's okay.
Okay, Luis.
Okay, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Luis Rivera. I have a studio here in West Fort Lauderdale, which is a small area called Weston. Been, as I guess, as SpeedPro owner for about 1 year and 7 months. I actually became owner right in the middle of the pandemic, when the pandemic was starting April. So I'm kind of the new guy here. One of the things that I always have, that I'm thankful is that I'm not here by myself. I have a group of people that help me. And when I say a group of people, I'm talking about owners. Anytime we have a question, anytime we have an issue with installation, with a product, with a material, you could always ask them, and they're always very, very willing to help and very willing to give us a hand. I also want to, I guess on this, year and 7-8 months, I've been able to become familiar with the products and see how much impact this has had on our customers. I think I think we do very, I mean, we do quality material. We have, I'm happy to say that I have accounts, national accounts like DHL. I also have local accounts, like we have Hispanic change of food, which is called PANA. It's called New Latin Food, and they're customer of ours, and they come to us for all of their needs. Also have another customers that I have that I work with are local high schools and local middle schools, which I'm happy to say that they are one of our nicest and biggest customers. I'm also part of the local chapter of the Rotary Club. As a matter of fact, they're going to have an event the next couple of weeks, and we're part of it. One of the other advantages of being part of DHL family is that, like I said, with a national account like DHL, had an installation or a job in Kansas City. And Mr. Ruben Islas was one of the persons that was able to help me, because while I was there, I had an issue with one of the my prints that for some reason or another, we made a mistake on the size. And I just, drove down to his studio, which is probably about 15, 20 minutes from it, and was able to get that print given to me, within half an hour. And, obviously you make a good impression on the customer, and what's even better, I was able to solve that problem, that same day. I definitely didn't want to drive all the way down here south and then print it and then bring it here. So, being a part of that family or that team, it is an asset. So we could help anybody from East, West Coast, North and South, and also being in the area of Jersey doing some work over there. And I guess one last thing I also want to mention is another customer that I'm very happy to say that I work with, which is Our Health. And this was a very satisfying job for me because we decorated one of the areas for kids with kid pictures and kid images, like dolphins and things like that. And to see that a wing finish, and to be able to see that even they show that on TV, because it's for the wing with for kids with cancer, and be able to say that you were part of that. It gives you a good feeling inside that at least you're putting a small part of it to make one kid feel, or even the family feel better about themselves. I wanted to go first because I'm the newest one, and maybe I have the least amount of stories to tell. So I'm the honor to be joined by two people that I know is Ruben personally. I haven't met Ralph personally, but we've seen each other quite a few times. So, whoever wants to go next after me, please feel free. Thank you, and it's been a pleasure. And I hope to get a lot of business from all of you.
I'll go next, since I am totally on the other spectrum of Luis. I'm 16 and a half years owning my studio, and basically my business is geared to the wholesale customers. We started, that was the SpeedPro's business model when we first opened up, and luckily I was able to keep my business that way. So for me, being a wholesale owner, we get repeat business, a lot more repeat business, because they have a large gamut of customers. So my customers are business brokers, print shops, sign shops, ad agencies. And so what makes us extremely valuable, not only as individual studios, but as the whole franchise in general, is that we are keeping our equipment basically uniform. So what Luis or Ruben does, what Luis does in Florida, or what Ruben does in Kansas City, if they need a job done, as Luis said, Ruben printed that job that Luis had done in Florida and printed it. And for DHL, color gamuts are very, very specific, and no problems there. So that is what really separates us, especially across the nation, that, we all work with, Pepsi has customers in Florida, California, New Jersey, New York, and a lot of them want to farm out to different areas to save on shipping, so they want to use different studios in those areas. So that makes it extremely valuable to our end customers, that we're able to provide the color quality, the color specificness for these high-end customers. Having said that, SpeedPro it has geared itself to look for owners that are, again, we're second to none. We come from a very diverse background, from corporate America to owning other businesses to, just wanting to be a business owner that we are very, very conscious to provide the customer service. So on top of the color quality that we can provide, add now the customer service that we can provide. What Ruben did for Luis, that was a simple one. I know Ruben had sent us, some stuff that he needed installed here in New Jersey. He sends it up to us, boom, we go in and we install it, and vice versa. I've had jobs that I had to have installed in California. We'll call our California studio. So we are extremely conscious to provide the customer service that many other sign companies, print shops, studios don't provide. People buy, SpeedPro brand is now becoming pretty well known, but I can say most of my customers buy because of the quality of the service that, my wife and I and our staff provide. There have been times that, I'll get a call at, 7:30 at night and say, oh, you know what, I forgot to send you this. Can you come back in? I live 3 minutes from my studio. I'll come back in, I'll print whatever that customer was missing, and they are ecstatic. So those are services that I doubt many other companies can provide. So, and again, our pricing, our pricing, is pretty fair. We're not there to gouge our customers, and so again, choosing us as a partner, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is making a very, very wise decision, because there is nothing that we can't do that any chamber customer would want, from vehicle wraps to building signs to, we wrapped the hospital across the street from us. I'll tell you a funny story. So they had done a sign, I saw a 25-foot by 45-foot banner on the building, and I was kind of annoyed. We were across the street and they didn't ask us for it. So I went over and I went to the marketing department, and I said, I thought you wanted to use vendors in the area, a new hospital, blah, blah, blah. And they said, Ralph, we need your help because we didn't file the papers correctly with the town. The town wants us to take that banner down. We put too many colors on it. They only allow 3 colors. They had 7 colors. And she goes, can you reprint it for us? And it took me like a nanosecond to say, absolutely. So we had that banner reprinted within a day, filed the correct paperwork that the town needed. And we have been their preferred customer ever since. So, and that's happened many times across the board with other different customers. For that they bought a vehicle wrap from somebody else, and it was the wrong material, and it didn't stick. It was too big or too. So we're there, and we're just a wonderful fit for all the different customers across the gamut. So I'll turn it over to Ruben and let him tell us how good his studio is.
Thanks, Ralph. I'll just start by talking a little bit about myself. My name is Ruben Islas, and for the first 15 years of my work life, I actually worked for Farmland Foods and Smithfield Foods and sold pork down in Mexico and in Central America. So I've been in all the ranchitos and carnicerias and the wet markets, and it's a different way of doing business. That's all I can say. The Hispanic way of doing business is completely different than a lot of others. And I learned that through the 15 years of doing what I did. So it's relationship-based, it's pride-based, it's trust-based. Dollars matter everywhere, but those other three things matter more. So it was a way of doing business. 13 years ago, I had the opportunity to be an owner for SpeedPro, and I vetted SpeedPro. And the one thing I did see is that, like Luis and Ralph say, it was a family sense. It was very natural for me selling pork in Mexico and in Central America to go from selling that way to doing this. There's a lot of relationship-based sales, a lot of relationship-based business relationships with other SpeedPro owners, as Ralph said. So that's really easy. So I say that because to do business with the Hispanic community, in my opinion, that's very important. The relationship that you have with your customer. Price is important, but relationship is more important. The quality of the product. We're all blessed that we have, like Luis said, pretty big customers. DHL is a big customer. H&R Block is a big customer. So we know how to handle the big customers. When it comes to handling the medium-sized and the smaller customers, in my opinion, that's where the Hispanic community comes in a little bit more. And it's a nice feeling for anyone to come in and say, we're dealing with SpeedPro. They also deal with the YMCA. It's part of our community. So it's all community. It's all relationship-based. We provide a quality product. That's the other thing I liked about the SpeedPro system. It's very quality oriented. We don't necessarily find the cheapest stuff and sell it to you, whether you're Hispanic or not. We always look for the quality product, and that's appreciated by our customers. And you don't get that a lot. I don't want to talk about other sign companies because that's their own deal, but you don't get that a lot with other franchised sign companies because it's just profit margin. Relationship-based business means that you get to do the business again and again and again and again, and that's huge for a sign company. So we really are into looking for communities like the Hispanic community. I am very proud to say that 90% of our business year over year is repeat business. That means that we're doing something right. That means that our quality is good. That means that we're as good or if not better than the Fast Signs of the world, the Alpha Graphics of the world, the other franchise print companies. And we can offer, like Luis said, the ability to go intrastate, and frankly, other countries too. We can ship anywhere, but it's all that relationship based. It's all that family. It's all that trust. It's all the pride, and the fact that the SpeedPro complex feels that way about its owners and the way they want us to run our business helps us show the community, show the Hispanic community, show the Anglo community, show all communities that we want to be a part of your regular day life. I like to always say that I don't want customers. I want partners. I want the person who is utilizing my capabilities to feel like I'm part of their company, that we're the print arm of whoever they are. And it's just a lot easier. And if you're going to do that, you've got to build a relationship. You got to know when to extend credit. You got to know, frankly, when to ask for money. You got to know, you just have to be open. And I find that when we do business that way, it repeats itself. And just invariably, that is attractive, in my opinion, I could be wrong, to the Hispanic morals. I mean, I've always been asked, why do you keep doing that? Why do you do that? Why do you deliver to someone? Why do you make, I don't know. That's the way I was brought up. It just feels right. It feels wrong to not do it that way. And we've been in business for 13 years. There's a lot of companies there's a lot of sign companies very close to us that have opened and closed in those 13 years because they couldn't make it for one reason or another. So I'm not saying our way is the right way, but our way sure works. It works with the Hispanic community. And as long as you keep those values, you keep those morals, I can't stress enough the pride, the partnership, the family feeling, that is good for both parties. Because if it was just good for one party, the other party is going to go away at some point. So it's good for both parties. So we're here to stay. We do business with a lot of Hispanic companies here in Kansas City. But frankly, we do a lot of business with a lot of companies, thank God. But I have to say that it's more pleasurable. It's a different type of pleasure. It's fun. We belong to the chamber. We don't belong to the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, but we support them. We sponsor their golf tournaments. I'm always talking to them. I speak to a lot of their members. The reason we aren't a member, frankly, is I feel like I need to spend, if I don't spend the time in it, then I'm cheating myself, I'm cheating the chamber. We're building, we're getting bigger, and that's one of the things I want to get, like Luis said, he was in the Rotary. I want to get in the Rotary, I want to get into the chambers. But just because you're a member of the chamber doesn't mean anything. It's more of, you've got to participate. Otherwise, it's just a membership. I can be a member at the Y, but if I don't go, I'm not going to get any healthier. But we do a lot with it. And we get a lot of business because members of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce are working for big companies. Here in Kansas City, it's Kansas City Power and Light, which is now called Evergy. It's Bally's Casino. I mean, we have big businesses, big business relationships with these customers, but it's all relationship based, and it's just that Hispanic, Latino, I don't know, vibe. It's funny it's odd to talk about it because it's so natural, but then when you talk to, I have a business partner. There's no way he could sell like I do. But frankly, I could not sell like he does. They both work. I just prefer mine. With all that said, the ability to work with SpeedPro is that it brings you the quality, it brings you the relationship-based business. It's the pride, it's the pride and quality of the product, like Ralph said, because it's just how we were taught. Because a lot of the owners were never in the print business. I was selling pork. I went from selling pigs to selling prints. It's just a commodity, and it's a sales style. It's how I treat my employees. It's how I treat my clients. It's how I treat my competitors, frankly. It's with respect. It's just healthy. And I think SpeedPro offers that to the Hispanic community in bunches. That's about it. I don't have anything else to say about it. I do thank you for the time, though.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ruben, for sharing your story, and everybody. If there's any questions, please feel free to add them in the Q&A. I'll go ahead and, well, I don't know if Danielle has any additional comments before we move on to questions.
No, just wanted to make sure everyone saw the link in the chat. And thanks again for having us. We can go ahead and take questions.
Awesome. First question would be, so I guess I could go both ways, to you, Danielle, maybe your perspective, as well as to our business owners. What marketing service that SpeedPro has provided, or just in general, do you feel has been the most successful for your partners or clients that have come to you guys as business owners, as well as on your corporate end, Danielle, maybe what you've experienced working for SpeedPro?
Sure. And basically what our niche is and our specialty is to find these custom solutions. So, you know, it might not be something where you can just order a standard size banner or a standard, you know, wall mural or something, or sign or whatever it may be that is for your needs. We can create something that's very, very custom and tailored to the space that it's going into, the messaging that is coming out, the branding that you need on it, and all of those kind of pieces. So we're a solutions provider in that if you need something that is custom, that you're not going to be able to just, you know, find anywhere else, you need something to be created that's very specific for your business. That's really our strong suit. And that can be in this concept of winning the impression and getting your branding out there. It can be across all types of mediums. It can be on vehicles, it can be outside, it can be in trade shows. And it's more so about the quality of the work that's done and the way that it is a custom fit for the particular client needs. Anything to add to that from owners?
Yeah, I think I'm going to add something which is that happened to me recently, which is about a new customer that just moved into the States from Latin America, and he wanted to open a restaurant, and he had an idea. And each studio is different. You know, we have small, medium, large studios, so we could always find a place to ask questions to anybody, and we could do any job, small or large, as Ruben and Ralph said. One of the things I like about the studio is that, I mean, you see these people with a dream, with the willingness to work, you know, 24/7, and they want their restaurant, whether it's small or large. In this case, was like a small restaurant, and we were able to help them from the beginning until the end. And they, when they saw the product that we delivered, which is as simple as coming soon, to now we're open, and to even putting designs on the wall, because I'm blessed to have a couple of designers that can actually work with some of our customers, and I give them a little perspective either on a render or a mock-up. And then when you see that on paper, but then when you see that on your actual place, I was so happy to see the face of the wife and the husband when they opened the first time for customers, and they said, you know, part of my success is the way we branded this restaurant. And maybe I did spend a little more time that I should have with them, but it really doesn't matter, because what I was really happy is that these people that came here to work, that came here to be a part of their community, and give something to the people, were able to open the restaurant, and I was able to help them, and hopefully, on a very successful entrepreneur. So that's I just want to mention that that's one of the things that I'm sure Ralph and Ruben have more stories than me to tell, but this was something that they had their grand opening yesterday. I'm sorry, last week. And I'm sorry, I keep saying, but because they had so many frustrations, like getting the permits, getting all the signs together, and then when it finally happened, they told me, they were so thankful for just for doing my job. I felt, you don't even need to thank me. I need to thank you, because I was part of this wonderful adventure. And basically, it's nice. It is a very rewarding experience, a very rewarding job that we do here. Obviously, like Ruben and Ralph said, quality, and love, and that's the main thing.
Going back and touching upon what Ruben and Rich was saying is that talking about how we garner new business, and I can proudly say that I don't do very much marketing. We're growing probably 10 to 15% a year, and it's through referrals. So that for us is just makes us extremely proud. And give you a little story. We had the nor'easter about 3 or 4 weeks ago here, and we had some major flooding, and a lot of our competition was flooded out. And so we started getting calls saying, hey, so and so referred us to you, we're in a bind, our vendor is needs new equipment right now, can you do stuff for us? I'm like, absolutely. I said, no problem, what do you need, blah blah blah. We did it for him, and I automatically assumed that once the other companies got their equipment back up and running, that we would lose that business. But again, surprisingly, we probably got 8 or 9 referrals. Of those 8 or 9 referrals, 6 of them have stayed with us and said, you know what, we'd rather work with you. You're much easier to work with. Your product's great. Your turnaround time is great. And so, other than the SEO and the pay-per-click campaigns, we're growing because people love our quality of our work, and they refer us to other people. And the one other thing that Ruben was saying is that, I love it when people come to visit our studio. I want people to come in and see us. And a lot of times, we'll have, I don't speak with an accent. I was born and raised here. My 3 brothers were born in Ecuador, but myself and my younger brothers and sisters were born here. So I don't have an accent. But when I have Latino customers coming in here, and I know they're Latinos, and they don't know whether my name is Trujillo with an I-O or an L-L-O. So I'll always, talk to them, and then I'll say, habla en español. And it's like the Great Wall of China has just come down, and they're like, oi, it is Hispano, oi. And we got them. They're our customers forever. So that Latino sabor, that Latino family ambiance that Ruben was touching upon is just a wonderful attribute that we can provide.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Would you have a question also? And this could be for any of the business owners. Could you share a big mistake or do-over that you had to do once and how you resolved it? I know we're not proud of admitting mistakes, but how we learn.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Unfortunately, I could share one from yesterday.
I was just going to say that.
There's a organization here. I'm sure it's everywhere, but it's called Junior Achievement, and they have like little market areas. So we've been doing all the storefronts, the inside, all the wall wraps, everything for the new Junior Achievement building that they have here in Kansas City. And one of the stores is for the Royals, the Kansas City Royals. So they were putting up a cartoonish looking stadium all the way around the 3 walls. We printed them and started putting them up. And don't know how, but when we print, the jets spray the print onto the material. And sometimes a jet goes out and you don't know it. And you print an entire wall mural. And it was 30 feet long by 10 foot tall. And the color blue in center field was different than the color blue in left field and right field. And it's in an entire room. And they had a Hall of Fame ceremony today, and it all had to be done yesterday. And we were installing yesterday morning because it was all rushed. So we figured it out, came back, and on our latex printers, because we have latex printers so that we don't have to let the ink dry and it's immediately dry and it can go up. We printed the entire wall. We could have printed a panel or 2 and tried to make it look right, but the right thing to do, because that's how we think. Like Louis says, sometimes it makes you laugh that someone thanks you for something that seems so normal. Like, you don't have to thank me, I should thank you. So instead of just doing one panel, we printed an entire 30-foot by 10-foot wall in the morning, laminated it, got it to our installers, and installed it by 5. The Royals loved it. I know that they're having their ceremonies this afternoon, but we sent them pictures. They absolutely were appreciative. They wanted to know how to handle the cost of the mistake. And part of it, I hadn't mentioned before, part of it was that they didn't give us the exact CMYK color combination so that we can make sure, so that we could double check. Everything was being rushed because it was all rushed. We had to do it all within 3 days. But they said, how do we handle the cost of 300 square feet of printed vinyl? It never occurred to me to charge them. Like, and I told them, that's fine. I understand it. The cost, what I would love and what I'm hoping is that by solving the problem and making you proud that you're part of junior achievement and your space is ready for the Hall of Fame, give me an opportunity. You don't have to guarantee anything. Just give me an opportunity to quote the next job. The biggest problem that I think most businesses have is they're going for the job that they're doing right now. My mindset is, I don't care about today's job. I want tomorrow's job and the job after that and the job after that. The only way I'm going to get a chance at doing it is by doing today's job perfectly. And if it's not perfect because we're not perfect, fix the problem and go on to the next one, go on to the next job. And I think most customers appreciate that. But yeah, yesterday I lost 300 square feet of printed wall mural. And I have, you guys want it for your rooms? I'll send it to you.
You're rich anyway, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's a great example of, keeping those relationships alive. I love how you guys have all touched on relationship building marketing. That's a big thing that people don't tend to really talk about, how important it is to maintain your clientele is through building relationships. And with that, there's another question asking, have you ever had an angry customer? Have you ever had to switch them around and brought them back in? Anybody have ever experienced that?
We had, I'll tell you the story. We had we'll start with an angry employee. He was our production manager, and he did an okay job. And we're probably in business 4 or 5 years, and he just was getting worse and worse, and so he quits. And I start getting calls from my customers saying, hey, you know what, so-and-so called me, he opened up his own shop, and he wants us to do business with him. So I said, you know what, if our service that we provided with you is not good enough for you to stay with us, please go. A couple of them did. And about 6 months later, one that was a pretty big customer came back and he goes, Ralph, can you print? I said, no, I can't print that for you. I said, my service for you wasn't good and you left me, no loyalty to me. And he's like, Ralph, I swear, I am so sorry. I will never do it again. So we printed for him. I actually delivered it to him, and he's been with me for another 8 or 9 years. So again, you're not going to be able to please everybody. You're going to make mistakes, like Ruben was talking about. I'm actually getting a text right now while I'm on the Zoom call that we're doing a 30-foot by 40-foot floor panel, and the customer just texted me and he's saying that it's not air release. And so I just texted him back. I said, look, I can't talk right now, but I'm going to respond back to him saying, look, when we do a floor graphics, obviously we provide the non-skid laminate, but we make sure that it's removable, because God forbid you put something on the floor and you can't pull it up and you damage that customer's floor, you're liable for that, and it's a lot of money. So I haven't had a chance to respond to him, but I'm going to say, look, you know what? We cannot give you a permanent vinyl for floors, because I don't want to be responsible. So again, he'll understand and he'll probably respect that. But again, these little things that would, obviously happening at the moment that we're with the Zoom, this is what separates us from other customers. Somebody else can say, oh, you want permanent graphics? No problem. And then you ruin their wooden floor or whatever. So, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, definitely. If there's no other questions, I open it up to any just final comments, Danielle and all of you, just, any final words before we finish up the webinar.
I just want to say, on behalf of SpeedPro of Westwood, and I know I can speak to Luis and Ruben, we are extremely proud, not only to be Latinos, but to be able to have the opportunity to be part of the, United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, because, like Luis and Ruben said, somos familia. So, and we want to continue that, and I know us three and the rest of our brand across the nation, it will be a wonderful, wonderful fit for the chamber.
Definitely. Any final thoughts, Luis and Ralph?
No, Monica, I appreciate the time, and like Ralph said, I think it would be a good fit. It's exciting. Like I said, when Danielle asked me about it, I really wanted to do it. And there's a lot of opportunity for both sides, in my opinion. And that I think it needs to be. Otherwise, like I've said before, it's not good for both sides. One side's going to go away at some point. So.
I also want to thank you, and I think, like Ralph and Ruben said, I'm very proud to be part of US Hispanics Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if you've seen, like I said, I've met Ruben. I mean, the first time I met him, I felt like I'd known him for a long time, and I'd never met Ralph in person. But I mean, you can see the camaraderie that we all have, and that's what you're getting from us, from SpeedPro. You're not only getting one, you're getting more than one, and we're looking forward to doing business, and I'm sure we will, and I'm sure the word will spread around, and this will be a partnership, like Ruben said, that it will last forever. Once again, thank you, and the one with the accent, gracias, and you all have a wonderful day.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today on this webinar. It is live on Facebook, and it'll be saved there, so you can always go back and watch it there, and it will be posted to our USHCC TV YouTube channel. If you have any questions or want to connect with any of our lovely speakers, I put my email in the inbox, and you can feel free to reach out to me. But we thank you so much, Ralph, Ruben, Luis, Danielle, for your feedback, for your stories and your experiences. It was a great conversation. We look forward to continue this great partnership with SpeedPro. And I encourage anybody out there to check them out, find a local one, or reach out to these gentlemen. And I'm sure you'll receive some great work and tips and feedback as well for their experience. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy.
Thank you, guys.